Alright, what is going on YouTube? BackSlash coming at you with another video. It's going to be my fourth video on the channel, and today we are looking at Jujutsu Kaisen 3. Jujutsu Kaisen 3 serves as the fourth volume in the Jujutsu Kaisen story. It introduces a number of characters. It also has been animated, so go ahead and check that out. I don't remember what episodes it is. Just go watch the whole series, why don't you? It's on Crunchyroll, it's on Hulu. Go watch it. Before we dive into this, I do want to know it's going to be relatively spoiler-free. I try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, so if you guys do pick it up, you can read it and not know everything that happens. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and dive into it. So for the cover art for this particular volume of the manga, we have Nobara and her nails, and I think it's actually a really cool cover. You can see her holding the nails with her teeth, and I just think it works really well for the vibe of this specific volume and the story overall. I think the colors blend really well, you know, the pink and the purples, and then her hair's orange and she's relatively pale, and I think it just works really well together. It looks really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this cover a 9 out of 10. Now diving into the plot and the characters that we have in this specific volume, we have a lot to get to, so let's dive right into it. At the beginning of this volume, we actually get to meet Mai, Zenin, and Aoi Todo. These are two high school sorcerers that go to the Jujutsu High that's located in Kyoto, so it's a sister school to the main high school where we see Nobara, Yuji, and Megumi go. We see them face off against Megumi and Nobara before Maki intervenes to help end the fighting. Mai and Todo are two huge side characters within this story. I think introducing them this early on and then kind of putting a conflict in there right there where Todo goes and fights Megumi and then Mai fights Nobara and then kind of Maki. I think that's a really good way to go ahead and introduce them, and I think it does a lot in terms of moving the plot forward and in continuing the world building that the author has done to this point. After that incident, we dive straight into the young fish in reverse punishment arc. This also introduces a number of characters, and we meet Mahito, who is a main antagonist of this early part specifically of the story, and he's aligned with Kenjaku, who we met in the last video. Along with Mahito, we meet a high schooler named Junpei Yoshino. He can see both curses and cursed objects, and he in this arc befriends both Yuji Itadori and Mahito, who are on opposing sides, and it makes for a really interesting conclusion to the arc. I definitely think this is one of the better arcs, especially early on. We also get to meet Kento Nanami, who is a fan favorite character of sorts. I think a lot of people really like him, and he kind of plays the sort of role of teacher. He's like a substitute Gojo during this arc because Gojo's off doing something, I can't remember what. Without spoiling too much, this is definitely one of the darkest, or probably the darkest arc up to this point in the manga. I think it really helps to show what the author wants to do with this story long term, and really kind of goes ahead and gives us an idea of what we're going to be getting into, especially with later arcs, and how he kind of treats all of the characters equally, essentially. I think that this arc does a really good job of expanding the Jujutsu world, and it does a really good job of introducing both side characters and antagonists. Now, getting into the bang for your buck section, overall, I think that this volume presents a lot in the way of moving the story forward. We get to meet a bunch of different characters, and along with that, seeing the sort of direction that the story is going to take long term. I think that's a really special thing to be able to find in just one volume, and I think this volume is fantastic for that reason. You can get this volume of the manga on Amazon for $7.69, so around the same price as everything else, or you can get it at Barnes & Noble for $9.99. Up to this point, I think the first 4 volumes, so 0 through 3 combined, are around $30. So again, starting, you know, if we're looking at it from a collection standpoint, that is not bad at all in terms of what you're actually getting. You're getting the first 25 chapters of the story, and then Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is like a whole movie. So yeah, and like I just mentioned, first 25 chapters of the story, which means this specific volume goes from chapters 17 to 25, which means it covers 9 chapters, which is phenomenal to find. It's 192 pages, so it is the same length as volume 2, and then it's which is around the same length as Jujutsu Kaisen 0. So this is a lot of reading to be doing. It introduces a lot in the way of characters. You get to see some really cool action scenes. You get to see Mahito and his idol transfiguration ability. You get to see Kento Nanami and his curse technique, which I can't remember right now, but he has a really cool curse technique. I think it's a really, really, really good overall just thing to be able to pick up. So bang for your buck is fantastic on this. For rating, I'm going to rate this one a 9.5. This is definitely my favorite up to this point, besides Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which I'm gonna append my rating on that and give that like a 9.6, I would say, or a 9.5. I put it on par with this. I really like that what the author does with this volume in terms of world building and the characters that he introduces and all that type of stuff. I think that introducing both the characters from the Kyoto school, being Toto and then Mai, who is Maki's sister, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that, but Toto and Mai, and then introducing the characters in the Young Fish and Reverse Punishment arc are really both, you know, phenomenal to be able to do that in one volume. So I really, really like this volume. I think you guys should absolutely pick it up. So there we have it. There is a quick and brief overview of Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 3. I plan on doing these for all the Jujutsu Kaisen books. I have up to 14 to this point, so I got quite a few to crack through still. It's been a lot of fun making them for you guys so far. So if you guys don't mind, drop a like, subscribe, comment. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.